In the day, it was a club called Kentucky Spring. Kentucky Spring was Fowler Street. They had little rooms for rent and a little club. And back in the day, most people frequent the club because it was like a little nice hangout to hang. Most people don't have no car like that, so they don't go too far from the neighborhood. They get their little pay and feel in their little pocket a little bit. They want go a little bit. That's what they used to do. And those type places, they never used to look down like how they looking down on some of these places nowadays to certain areas. No, even though it was in the ghetto, back then the ghetto was like the only elite place around because, we didn't have all these plenty people around come micro, cause micro was lone bush. They didn't have no, definitely they didn't have no pinewood garden and no yellow yellow. Even yellow yellow wasn't even around back then. You know, the only place which you could sit around was like something similar to local housing was Big Pond. You know, boy, and we used to live. You could come right through the yard to our house, which is in the Valley Corner. That's why I say they used to walk through your yard. People never had used to walk the main roads. And back then, you never used to have all these people trying to attack people who walking and things like that, like the way it is now, So it was more safe and people just used to hail one another when they passed through your yard, good evening, and no one ever, oh, don't pass through my yard, this, that, and the next. Everybody used to pass through the shortcuts, and it was like as if it's a road because people never had fences like that. Boy, listen here. Being a young person, minding my children, as always, all you hear the big bang, big fight, big sweetheart fight. And this like early in the beginning of the evening, so it ain't quite night yet. It's what you call twilight. That's what you call twilight. Twilight is just before dark. You can know twilight because just before dark, the trees look black. If you look at the sky, everything look kind of grayish, and the trees look black. If you were to paint it, would be an artist to paint it. That's twilight. That's the time just before night actually fall. And so being nosy, me and the neighbors, because right there, we go on peeping through the trees. But back then, you ain't got to worry about gunshot. You know what? I had no gun. So we used to be peeping through the tree to see who fighting. And boy, they used to have some terrible fights. It wasn't all the time. Anytime you see the fight, that was sweetheart business. Boy, and that used to be like entertaining. The man and the woman, them fighting each other because this one meet the next one, sweetheart. And they never used to fight with no cutlasses or anything like that. They just fight with their fists. So it wasn't like you had to go to a hospital after you finished fighting. You just get bust up a little bit and you go home. And after one day chilling home, you look good as new. It looked good as new. So it never was nobody getting chopped up or stuff like that you had to go to a hospital. That's the kind, they call it fist fight. So the woman them fighting and the man them fighting. Boy, and it used to be entertaining. We used to be laughing and going on because, you didn't have no TV. We were so poor we didn't have no TV. We had no television. No TV. No kind. And I'd be like, muddles. These people could fight over man now. Two women fighting or two men fighting over woman. And boy, because everyone used to basically meet the same place. There's nowhere to really go for the little regular waking people who had nothing much to talk about, back then. Boy, but that used to be entertaining. You'll be talking about that for days. Oh, you see that fight? Oh, she did this and she said this. You hear the grown people who are much older talking, and that's big entertainment for them. They be talking about that for days and days and days. That's how it was back in the day, you know. It ain't like you have to turn on reality TV and see all these things going on. That was the reality TV back then. In fact, if they had camera back then, they'd had plenty good entertainment what people would be laughing at today. Trust me. So, you know, that was a hangout spot for the people in the lower line stream, but we were in the ghetto, but the ghetto was like the middle class people back then. It isn't like how we term it nowadays, okay? So, yeah, they used to have their little problems too. Over and out.